Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to today's session. So in today's Finance 360-degree session, we are going to cover two very important news articles. One is regarding the launch of the Scores 2.0. So this is the new version of the complaint redressal system that has been launched by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. And this is very important from the exam point of view. Let it be the RBI grade B, the SEBI grade A or the NABARD grade A. So we have to understand that what is this new version of the complaint redressal system and what are the features of this new version. Okay, next news article is regarding the IRDAI that has released the list of the domestic systemically important insurers. So we are going to see that what is this list as well as how they are selected. Okay, so before starting with the two very important news articles, do subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you continue getting the relevant and important videos from your examination perspective, as well as do join the Telegram channel of EduTap, as in the Telegram channel you will be getting the PDF of the session. Okay, and the link for the Telegram channel is provided in the description box below. So let's start with the first news article that is regarding the IRDAI that has released the 2023-24 list of domestic systemically important insurers. So this is the press release that has been released by the IRDAI, that is the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Okay, so it is the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India that has released the list of domestic systemically important insurers. Now, in the list there are the three domestic systemically important insurers that have been identified. That is the LIC, GIC, and the New India. So, Life Insurance Corporation of India, the General Insurance Corporation of India, and the New India Assurance Corporation Limited. These are the three entities. These are the three insurance companies that have been identified by the IRDAI as being the domestic systemically important insurers. So what are these domestic systemically important insurers? What is the meaning of being the domestic systemically important insurers? So let me tell you that the domestic systemically important insurers, they refer to the insurance of such huge size and market importance and the domestic and global interconnectedness. So these are the LIC, the GIC, the New India Assurance Company Limited. These are the three domestic systemically important insurers, as these are the insurance companies that are very big in size, they have very huge market importance, and they are the companies that have the domestic and global interconnectedness. Okay, whose distress, if any of these companies are coming in the distress kind of situation, or they are going under the failure kind of situation, they would cause a significant dislocation in the domestic financial system. So the whole of the domestic financial system will be affected if these entities are being affected. That's why they are the domestic systemically important insurers. Okay, they are huge in size, they have the market importance, as well as they are domestically and globally interconnected. Okay, so the continued functioning of the domestic systemically important insurers is important for the uninterrupted availability of the insurance services in the country, in the national economy. Now, domestic systemically important insurers, they are perceived as insurers that are too big or too important to fail. So they are too big or too important to fail, and that's why they should not be failing. They should not be coming in the distress kind of situation, otherwise that will affect the whole of the domestic financial system. So I hope this much is clear that how important they are. Now see what happens, that when these entities come to know that okay, we are the domestic systemically important insurers, so if any trouble is coming to us, then the government is going to help us, then the other institutions, other entities of the country are going to help us, because we are the important, we are too big to fail, or we are too important to fail. So the other important entities, the regulator of the sector, that is the IRDAI or the government, is going to take the steps to protect us or to safeguard us or to take us out of the trouble. So we can go into trouble situation, they can become very relaxed. So this perception that they are the domestic systemically important insurers and the perceived expectation of the government support may amplify the risk taking activity. They can take more and more risk, as well as reduce the market discipline among these institutions, among these companies, and create competitive distortions and increase the possibility of distress in the future, because they are becoming too relaxed and they are not following the proper guidelines. They are amplifying their risk that they are taking. Okay, so these considerations require that the domestic systemically important insurers be subjected to additional regulatory measures, because they are too big to fail. So that's why they have to follow the additional regulatory requirements so that they are not coming into the distress kind of situation. So the domestic systemically important insurers, they have to be subjected to additional regulatory measures to deal with systemic risk and moral hazard issues. So now I hope you have understood this. Domestic systemically important insurers, 3 insurers को identify किया गया है by IRDI for the 2023-24. Now how the identification has happened, because they are big, वो काफ़ी बड़े इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं या ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है, बहुत ही ज़्यादा मार्केट इंपॉर्टेंस है और बहुत ज़्यादा कनेक्टेड है वो बाकी इंस्टीट्यूशंस के साथ डोमेस्टिकली एंड ग्लोबली. और ये जो डोमेस्टिक सिस्टमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट इंश्योरेंस है ये बहुत बड़े हैं कि अगर ये फेल होते हैं या डिस्ट्रेस सिचुएशन में आते हैं, दिस विल अफेक्ट द होल ऑफ द इकोनॉमी. सो दिस इज द क्रक्स ऑफ द थिंग. ओके, so now given the nature of their operations, of the insurance companies, this and the systemic importance that these domestic systemically important insurers have, these insurers have to carry forward their efforts and raise the level of the corporate governance. So they have improved the level of the corporate governance, as well as they have to identify all the relevant risk and promote a sound risk management framework and culture. So they are taking only that much risk that is required for the sustenance or for their company. So they should not be taking some extra risk, or they should not be amplifying their risk. So they have to identify all the relevant risk and promote a sound risk, a good risk management framework and culture. Now the domestic systemically important insurers, they are subjected to enhanced regulatory supervision. Okay, so this is the whole news article. I hope you have understood this clearly. Now coming to the scores 2.0. So the SEBI, that is the Securities and Exchange Board of India, has released a press release regarding the scores 2.0. That is a new technology to strengthen the SEBI complaint redressal system for the investors. So scores, the full form of scores is SEBI Complaint Redressal System. So it is the SEBI Complaint Redressal System. That is the scores 2.0. That is with the new technology. So scores 2.0 has been launched by the SEBI. Scores 2.0 new technology is there in the scores 2.0 to strengthen the complaint redressal system of the SEBI for the investors. Okay. So this is the, if you go to the SEBI website and if you go to the scores, that is the SEBI complaint redressal system, you will see this, that the attention, welcome to the new version of the SEBI complaint redressal system, that is scores 2.0. So it is said that on kindly note that the investors can check the status of their prior complaints that were lodged in the old scores, old system, and pending as on March 28, 2024. In the old scores only, now they cannot lodge any new complaints. So that is the idea, that they now cannot lodge any new complaints. They can only check the status of their old complaints in the old system. Now if they want to lodge their complaints, they will have to lodge their complaints in the new system, that is the scores 2.0, that has new and better technology. So SEBI has launched the new version of the SEBI complaint redress system, that is scores 2.0, in its continuous pursuit of protecting the investors and protecting the interest of the investors in the securities market. So Securities Exchange and Board of India, so Securities Exchange Board of India has released this scores 2.0. Now about scores. So scores is an online grievance redressal facilitation platform that is provided by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The complainants, the investors, we can say, or the consumers, we can say, they can raise their complaints, they can lodge their grievances pertaining to the securities market against the SEBI regulated entities. So the regulated entities that are under the Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is like the listed companies, the registered intermediaries, and the market infrastructure institutions such as the clearing corporation or the depositories or the stock exchanges. So if the complaint has to be raised against the regulated entities under the SEBI, so the complaint can be raised through the scores. Okay, but the investors, they shall first take up their grievances for the redressal with the entity concerned. So if they have any complaint against the listed company, first of all, the complainant, the investor, should go to the listed company to raise their complaints with the listed company. If their complaints are not getting addressed by the listed company, then they should come to the scores. That is a platform of the SEBI. Okay, so investors shall first take up their grievances for the redressal with the entity concerned through the designated persons or officials of the entity who handle the issues relating to the compliance and redressal of investor grievances. So listed companies, they must have some persons or officials that are handling the customer complaint, that are handling the investors complaint. So the customers, or we can say the investors in case of the securities market, so the investors should first go to the listed company to raise their complaints, and if their complaints are not getting addressed by the listed company, then they should go to the scores that is of the SEBI to raise the complaints. Now, what are the features of the scores 2.0? So how the scores 2.0 will be working? So here you can see that this is the scores redressal process flow. So first of all, there is the under the scores 2.0, there is the reduced and uniform timelines for the redressal of investor complaints across the securities market, that is 21 calendar days from the date of receipt of complaint. Your complaint will be addressed. So there is the uniform timeline that has been provided, that is 21 calendar days. In this timeline, your complaint will be addressed, the investor complaints will be addressed. So this is the feature of the scores 2.0. So let's understand the whole of the process, that how scores work. So first of all, register on scores. So it is through the URL that is provided for the scores, or there is the app that has been provided for the scores. So you can do the registration in this app or in this URL through the KYC. Registration will happen, and then you can lodge your complaint. Once you are registered, you can lodge your complaint in the scores. Select appropriate category of complaint, nature of complaint, as well as name of the SEBI regulated entity that you have the complaint against which of the particular listed company, or you have the complaint against which of the registered intermediaries, such as you have the complaint against which stockbroker, that is the intermediary. If you have the complaint against market infrastructure institutions such as the depositories or clearing corporations or the stock exchanges, so if you have the complaint against them, you will have to mention that against which of the regulated entity you have the complaint. So you can lodge the complaint. Then you can also track the status, that okay, at what place your complaint is, that it is near to the redressal or your complaint is just being picked now. So track the status of the complaint. Please note that automatic reminders are sent to entities for timely resolution of the complaint. Okay. Then you can also seek review. Now you are not satisfied. So you have gone to the scores, and let's say the investor is going to the scores, is lodging the complaint, and this is being, firstly, this is going to be assigned to the particular entity only, to the concerned entity, to the concerned regulated entity only. So if it is a listed company, it will be assigned to the listed company under the scores also. So remember, under the scores of the SEBI is not going to directly see the complaints. Okay. Under the scores, the investor, if the investor is raising the complaint, if the investor is lodging the complaint, first it is going to go to the entity against which the complaint has been raised. Okay. So the listed, here you can see that the listed companies, the registered intermediaries, the market infrastructure institutions who have the investor complaints pending against them in the scores. So that means that if you are raising the complaint in the scores, first the complaint will go to these entities only. Okay. So first these entities are the ones, the particular entity is the one that is going to take your complaint. Okay. Under the scores also. So under the scores, the entity against which the complaint is, that entity is going to take your complaint. Okay. So now the entity has to address your complaint within 21 calendar days. So entity to submit. So the concerned entity against which the complaint is, that entity has to resolve your complaint within 21 days and has to submit the action taken report within 21 calendar days. Now, if you are not satisfied with the action that has been taken by the entity, let's say that the entity has resolved your complaint. Let's say you have the complaint against XYZ stockbroker. So this stockbroker has addressed your complaint and has given you the action taken report within 21 days. But you are not satisfied with this redressal that has happened of your complaint. So what you can do, that you can escalate the matter within 15 calendar days. You can escalate the matter to the particular designated body. So two-level review system is provided under the scores 2.0. So two-level review system is there. Under this, you can review you can ask for the review of your complaint and the answer that has been provided to you. So the action taken report will be reviewed by the designated body within 15 days, within 10 days, 10 calendar days. Okay. So two-level review system. Seek the review. You can seek the review of your complaint within 15 days, of receiving the action taken report. So let's say that you have raised the complaint and within 21 days your complaint was addressed by the entity and the entity has given you the action taken report. Now receiving on the date you have received the action taken report, now within 15 days you have to, if you are not satisfied, then you have to, within 15 days you have to send this report for the review. That will be reviewed by the designated body. So auto escalate or first level review within 15 calendar days. If you are not satisfied, now the designated body will review the whole complaint and the action taken report that has been given by the entity, that what action has been taken, what kind of resolution the entity has given. So that will be checked and the designated body will submit the action taken report within 10 calendar days. This will be done by the designated body, will provide the resolution within 10 calendar days. If you are not satisfied with the designated body also, then within 15 days, within 50 days. So in the 10 days, within 10 days, the designated body has given you the action taken report. Now you will get, after receiving this action taken report, within 15 days, you have to raise this concern with the SEBI, So this is going to be the second review. Okay. So the auto escalate or second level review within 15 calendar days after receiving the action taken report from the designated body, and this will go to the SEBI. So you can understand that there is the two-level review system. You can seek the review of your complaint within 15 days from the date of receiving the ATR from the entity. So from the entity you have received the ATR, action taken report. Within 15 days you have to raise the concern and request for the review. So this will be the first level review that will be done by the designated body, and this will take 10 days. Then if you are not satisfied with this review that has been done by the designated body and the ATR that has been provided by the designated body, you can have the second level review that will be done by the SEBI. Okay, you can also provide the feedback. Within 15 days, you will have to provide the feedback. So this is the whole system of the scores. I hope you have understood this system. Now reduced, what are the features of the scores 2.0? That are as follows. Once you have understood the whole process, these features become very easy. So reduced and uniform timelines are provided. 21 calendar days are provided to the entity to resolve your complaint. Introduction of auto routing. So auto routing will happen that from the, when you have lost the complaint, automatically the complaint will be assigned to the entity against which the complaint is. Okay. So auto routing of the complaint to the concerned regulated entity so as to eliminate the time lapses, if any, in the flow of complaints. Monitoring of the timely redressal of the investor's complaints by the designated body. Let's say that the entity has not resolved your complaint within 21 days. Then also this complaint will be directly passed on to the designated body. So they can review the ATR, that is the action taken report of the entity. If the entity is not resolving the complaint in the timely manner, then the designated body will directly receive the complaint against the entity that has come. Okay. Providing two levels of review. So we have seen that under the scores 2.0, there is the two levels of the review. The first review will be done by the designated body if the investor is dissatisfied with the resolution that has been provided by the concerned regulated entity. Second review will be done by the SEBI if the investor is still dissatisfied after the first review also. So now introduction of auto escalation of complaint to the next level in case of non-adherence to the prescribed timeline. So within 21 days, so here you have seen now that if the entity is providing you the action taken report within 21 days and you are not satisfied, then you will send, within 15 days, you will send the action taken report, or you will send the request for the first review to the designated body. But let's say that the entity has not even considered your complaint or have not given any resolution for your complaint. Then it will auto escalate. Within 15 days, it will auto escalate to the designated body. So the complaint, if it is not being addressed by the entity, will directly auto escalate to the designated body. So that is the idea, that introduction of the auto escalation of the complaint to the next level in case of non-adherence to the prescribed timelines by the regulated entity, or if the designated body is not like within 10 days, the designated body is not doing the first review, then the complaint or the review will be auto escalated to the SEBI. Okay. Integration with KYC registration. So what has happened, that the KYC registration will be required for the scores. So integration with the KYC registration agency database for easy registration of the investor on the scores. So the new version of scores strengthens the investor complaint redressal mechanism in the securities market. The process has been made more efficient through auto routing, that automatically the complaint will go to the entity, to the concerned entity. Auto escalation, if the entity is not resolving your complaint, or it will be auto escalated to the designated body. If the designated body is not doing the review on time, it will be auto escalated to the SEBI. And the monitoring by the designated bodies, so designated bodies will be able to monitor the complaints also, and reduction of timelines has also happened. The timelines have been made very smooth. The new scores system has also been made more user friendly. Okay, so scores is an online system where investors in securities market can lodge their complaints through web URL or through the through their app. So this is the whole news articles. I hope you have understood the both news articles. Now this is the first question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. Now this is the second question, so try to answer this question. You have to tell that which of the following is or are incorrect regarding the features of the scores 2.0. So I hope you will be able to answer this question very easily. So now let me show you the students that have given the right answer of the previous session. So for the first question, the first statement was correct, the second statement is wrong, as well as in the third statement there should be plus minus 100 basis point. So only first statement is correct. So that's why D is the right answer here. In the second question, ways and means advances, here the first and second statements are wrong, only the third statement is correct. So that's why the answer should be C only. First statement, it is a short-term loan facility, and the second statement, it is not exclusive to the union government, it is also provided to the state governments. So only the third statement is correct. So here the answer is C. In this one also the answer is C, because here the second and third statements are only correct, because the first statement is wrong, it should be 1935. In the fourth statement, there should be the Prime Minister of India. So D, C and C. So Akash has given the right answer, user has given the right answer, and Jayant has given the right answer, Nancy has given the right answer, Nandini has given the right answer, Krishna, Vardhaman, Vanshika, Priya, Gagna, Vijay, and Aman, Kishore, you should change your first answer, na? It should be D. And Sorish. So these are the students that have given the right answer of the previous session question. So these are the students that have given the right answer of the previous session question. So do give the right answer of this session question, and if you have any query, you can comment down below, as well as thank you very much for attending the session. Thank you everyone.